Do you remember I was talking about the khinkali before, the Georgian dumplings? So never, ever eat the one with the knife and the fork. Never peel the one. So if the next to you sitting the Georgian person will start complaining or changing the face and looking, what are you doing there? Because we believe if you're cutting the khinkali, somewhere one Georgian is dying. This is why the population is less now, actually, after when the tourists start growing.
That's one of your tour jokes, isn't it?
Okay, it is. One of it.
It's a good one, though. It's a good one. Now you know what not to do when eating a khinkali in the country of Georgia, which is where you're headed today. You heard me mention that being one of his tour jokes. That's because our guest, Levon Giorgadze, is the founder of Tbilisi Free Walking Tours, and he's also a local resident, of course. And today he's going to take you deep into the hidden side of Tbilisi, from Soviet-era brutalist architecture to underground printing houses where Stalin once spread communist propaganda, and plenty of points in between. Along the way, you'll also learn the secret behind why Georgians are so hospitable, where to find some of those local, authentic experiences we all know and love as travelers. You'll discover why Georgia has the world's oldest wine culture. You'll gain a better understanding of some of the cultural nuances of this unique country, and plenty more coming your way in this episode right now. So buckle up, strap in. Thanks for being here, and welcome to the Zero to Travel podcast, my friend.
You're listening to the Zero to Travel podcast, where we explore exciting travel-based work, lifestyle, and business opportunities, helping you to achieve your wildest travel dreams. And now your host, world wanderer and travel junkie, Jason Moore.
Hey, it's Jason here with ZeroToTravel.com. Welcome to the show. Thanks for hanging out, letting me bring a little travel into your ears today. This is the show to help you travel the world on your terms, to fill your life with as much travel as you desire, no matter what your situation or experience. You may have noticed this month we're going a little bananas with the destinations. I love to cover destinations and really take that angle on the sort of the hidden gems, the off the beaten track places, if you will. And I thought, what better way to do it than to bring on the founder of Tbilisi Free Walking Tours, which you can find at tbilisifreewalkingtours.com. And he has 9 years experience guiding international visitors. He's also witnessed Georgia's transformation from a lesser visited destination to hosting millions of tourists. Now, I've been hearing about Georgia for some years, and it seems to have just become more and more popular over the years. And I think that having Levon here, it's a cool opportunity because he has an understanding of the traveler's perspective, but he also has that local knowledge as a local Georgian, which means he knows which hidden gem recommendations travelers will enjoy. And I hope you do enjoy this one. Don't forget, before we dive in, zerototravel.com/newsletter. You can sign up for our free newsletter. It goes out once a week, and you can't beat the price. Again, free. I'll leave you with a quote at the end. Actually, it's an idiom, a Georgian idiom that I thought was kind of fun. And, I love when I learn about these idioms because they always give me a little chuckle, I guess. I'll talk more about that on the outro bit. For now, please enjoy my conversation with Levon. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the other side, my friend. Cheers.
შემდეგი სადგური ნაძალადევი. Next station, ნაძალადევი.
Levon Giorgadze, welcome to the Zero to Travel podcast, my friend. Nice to see you.
Also for me, I was waiting there almost 2 weeks. Yeah. Yes, please.
You are the first Georgian, can I say that I've ever met?
Yeah. For sure. We will talk about soon why Georgian or why not the Sakartvelo, because our country called different way. We call Sakartvelo, not the Georgia. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we should talk about that. Forgive my ignorance. By the way, you are the founder and guide of Tbilisi Free Walking Tours. We're going to link up to that in the show notes.
Thank you so much.
You offer a variety of tours. I'm sure you're meeting people from all over the world almost every day. Before we get into kind of some of the what I want to get is some of the off the beaten path kind of recommendations and just the vibe on Tbilisi, which is a city that I think I started hearing a lot more about Georgia as a country, like on this podcast, maybe 5 years ago, 6-7 years ago. It's people started talking about traveling there more. And now it's just, I feel like it's exploded. You tell me, because you're a local resident, you're on the ground. It seems like have more people been coming more than ever. Have you seen the rise in tourism?
Yeah. So look at that. We are dividing now our tourism into parts. Before the 2019 and after the 2019. Basically, we're talking about the COVID situation. Of course, after the COVID, it's totally reduced, and now it's getting growing again. Basically, we got the second chance. World got the second chance. It's not only Georgia, but because the Georgia was before a unknown destination. For us, it was really important to keep the track. But unfortunately, happened something. What happened? Everybody knows that one. So, and it was just like a gap. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So, but now last year, this year, still again, starting growing and growing. It's not the same statistic, information, saying, amount of the tourists, which was in 2019. Imagine in Georgia lives about 4 million people and population. And 2019, statistically, officially traveled in Georgia 8 million tourists, doubles than population. Yeah, for sure we cannot say nowadays the same. It was roughly 4 million or something like that, but compared to last year, it was slightly more. But considering our region and our geopolitical location on the map, many things going on around. I'm not talking about or the north or south, even west. So our geopolitical location is so hard, and that also affects us, of course.
What are you drinking, by the way? You can let people know. They can't see. This is audio, but you need to describe this.
Okay, this is exactly one of the reasons why people should visit us. This is like a amber wine. We call amber wine. It's not orange wine. So look at the amber wine. It's basically grapes is white, but we have a unique method to make the wine. We use the amphoras, clay jars, which is buried in underground, and we use the skin, seeds, and sometimes stems also of the grapes, and fermenting in the amphora. Because with the skin and the seeds, it's getting a more dark color, looks I don't know, brandy, sherry, or whatever, but tastes so different, so unique taste. But again, grapes is the typical white grapes. And nowadays I can say it starts already boom of the amber wine because our export also culturing. And I don't know if you know that one, but our history, winemaking history, going back to the 8,000 years. So basically, we are the first country. So good to say, we are first country who invented the wine and made the wine. And probably, most probably, it's not fact, but most probably, first wine was the amber wine because archaeologists found a clay jar which is dates 8,000 years. And considering the clay jar, we can make only amber wine. So, makes sense.
Yeah. You know your stuff. I mean, I love that. I love that you're bringing it to life. This one glass of amber wine here.
It makes a good visual also. So it's perfect. Believe me,
people are already sold. They're like, give me the wine out of the clay jar. You know, that was enough. All right. So, why should people come to Tbilisi now? What do you think is special about the city right now? And we'll get into what they can find and what they can do. But why should people come visit?
I guess you understand, there's a lot of things, but I'm going to focus couple of things. I'm going to count a couple of important things. First of all, of course, the wine, because I'm a big fan of also the wine. And the wine, you can find a really unique wines. You can buy a lot of wineries. Imagine like a country which is really small. In the world, for example, in the world exists 2,000 different type of sort of the grapes. And only in Georgia you can find 525. And you can imagine how big is the big is the culture of the wine. It's for sure one of the important reasons to visit Georgia in general and Tbilisi particularly because you have a lot of wine bars and a lot of variety of the wines here. So I guess you're gonna be fan of it if you are even not even like a really big lover of the wine. You can find really interesting there. It's a first reason. Second, really simple, not far away. Food. Georgian cuisine is one of the best cuisine. I cannot say only best. I will say one of them because also I'm a fan of the different cuisine. But Georgia is also famous for a couple of different dishes, which is if you're going to Google country Georgia, you're going to pop up that famous khinkali, which is dumplings, basically meat dumplings, or khachapuri, which is like a cottage cheese with the bread. It's like pastry basically. But imagine khachapuri. We have 30 different type of khachapuri. So, and I guess I'm going to count a lot of things, but just like a cuisine, it's wonderful. For me, basically, Jason, if I want to travel, if I want to explore the culture of any country, it's my point of view. I start with the cuisine. Cuisine gives me a lot of information about the culture. For me, it's really important part of the exploring the culture of any country. And in Georgia, I find it really interesting there.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
And another third reason, nature. Oh my God. Look at that. The country is pretty small. And, first of all, we have 29 different microclimates. We have mountains. We have a sea. We have a forest a lot, semi-desert area, canyons in one country. So most of the people, now it's starting ski season. So even from the Austria and Alps, they coming here because slightly cheaper than there. So, and we have really good tracks and ski resorts. So they're going to enjoy that one. Small country, but a lot of to see. And trust me, week, 2 week, 3 weeks, no, minimum months to explore.
Now you're speaking our language, because I think this is the kind of audience that will go to a place for a month and just hang and experience it. All right, so you're going to share some of the things we can see and do within some of the things you just shared. Before we get into that, because I know that just being a tour guide, offering to take travelers through and talk about the culture and show them things, you're teaching them a lot. I'm just curious what you learn from sort of that international crowd. What have you learned from running these tours and speaking with people from all over the world on a nearly daily basis? So
we start this business these tours I started 9 years ago. And before I met some, the tourists and people from other countries, but never pay the attention where I can get from them. I give them of course the food, drink, explaining the stories, history and stuff like that. Actually, I found how powerful, how colorful, how interesting, how deep is the world. First of all, I met on my way funny people, crazy people, talented people, mad people. When I thought I living in a building, in apartment, and my neighbors is crazy, and I was saying, doesn't exist this kind of crazy people in the world? No, exist actually way more crazy than my neighbors are now. Yeah. And I'm sorry and apologize with them. So I was saying you're crazy. Now I was saying no, I met more crazy than you are. So they are happy now to see there's exist people who is crazier than they are. And look at look at it. For example, I met a person in my life which was like memorable for me. A guy who was traveling through by bicycle all the way all the way from England to China. Basically Silk Road. This is a famous Silk Road. But what's the unique there? You say there's many people who travel in that one. Unicycle, not the only normal bike. Unicycle, crazy man. It's crazy. With the one wheel, he was travel all this way. When he showed me the one first time in my life, I said, "Okay, wish all the best, man." Because it was crazy, honestly.
Was his name Ed?
Exactly. Okay. You know him.
I know who he is. I tried to get him on the show a long time ago. He still hasn't been. Ed Pratt. You can find him out on the internet.
I was lucky to have him on the tour. So here we go.
Yeah, that's a crazy way to travel, huh? A one-wheeled bike through the mountains. I mean,
absolutely. And I saw many people. And one was like, okay, it was nice side of the story, and it was like a mid side of the, like my experience, if you want to hear. I remember the one guy, he was from the Spain, from the Madrid. I met him on the tour, and he traveled around the Georgia and also include the Armenia because it's not far away, so they can reach the Armenia. All 3 weeks. After the 3 weeks, I met him again. And imagine, I don't know what happened with him. He lost everything, and he became basically mad. When I met him, I said, "Don't touch me." He was saying like, "Don't touch me." I said, "I'm okay. Do you remember me?" No, you're like a director of my life movie. You want to be like a managing things. You don't manipulate it with me. I said, "Okay, man, everything is okay. I'm your friend. We've been together on the tour." No way. You want to steal something from me? What I can steal? Nothing was with him already. I mean, he lost everything, or somebody robbed him. So basically, what happened in the end of the story, I could take his contact somehow, managing. I called like ambulance. Yeah, I don't know. It's that schizophrenia. I don't know what's happened during his trip, but he got like this. I guess he was like have this one in his life. He became like a more active or more like a sensitive with something. And he was thinking everybody want to rob him. Everybody want to manage his life. Like basically, do you remember the movie with Jim Carrey, Truman Show? He was thinking like I'm the director sitting on the, like, I don't know, on the moon there and managing him. Somehow I figured out to find the number of his mother, basically. What I did, because he lost all the money here not back there. The mother transferred the money to me. I bought the tickets and sent him back to the Spain. After 1 year, he found my number, called me. Of course, he was like really thankful. He was saying now it's normalized. I went to psychologist. Everything is clear now. I don't know what happened with him, but in 3 weeks, this guy was changed a lot.
Wow.
So happened.
Okay. Yeah, that's well, it's good that you were there to step in and help out. Crazy. Yeah. I mean, well, you're working with a lot of different people from all over. I guess anything can happen. The world's a lot more unpredictable sometimes than we think it is when we're in our daily bubbles. All right. So you have different tours that you offer. You kind of have like the old Tbilisi tour, Backstreets. There's the hidden tour. That one caught my eye because it takes you off to some of the off the beaten path locations. I'm just wondering, what do you have to share here today? I don't know if you have a list or if you want to kind of run through some different things that people can see. How do you want to tackle this? You're the guide taking us through here today. So,
okay, great. So look at that. I'll touch that topic and I will combine some hidden gems which is not located in the downtown and it's like on the kind of edge of the city, but really interesting and not really famous, that popular yet. So I'll touch some more or less hidden popular spots, which is like one day was hidden gem. Nowadays it became the famous and popular. You know, sometimes people is asking me, Levan, can you suggest some really not touristical restaurant? Yes, but in one day it will be touristical because if I'm going to suggest everyone, Of course, one day will be like a mainstream. You know what I'm saying? So same story with the hidden spots. Most of the hidden spot, which is we do, it's basically some private houses with the gorgeous, beautiful entrances with the Art Nouveau Baroque style, where the people cannot reach themselves because it's again private properties. But it's so beautiful. Also, this kind of tours included really interesting stories. For example, nobody knows there exists like a gentleman's club exactly on our tour. Them showing like a really interesting building where there's like a outside on the door where there's like a metal curse. One of the detail is a mustache. So nobody paid attention there. When I paid attention, of course, I was wondering what was this place because it's exactly the mustache. So going to the archives, I found that place was the first gentleman's club in Tbilisi. So far, it was really interesting. After, of course, I dive inside, and inside it's also beautiful. It looks like there was like touch of the gentleman's, let's just say, in 19th century. I'm talking about. So beginning of the 19th century. Second one, some places you must to see, otherwise I cannot explain. You know what I'm saying. But I can tell you the three spots, which is in Tbilisi, which is not in downtown, and you need like for sure, I don't know, public transport, taxi or car to reach those places. So first, we call the Chronicle of the Georgia. It's basically, we call in Georgia, it's a Stonehenge. It's like a giant columns, basically 30 meters high, and there's like 20 of them. If you Google that one, you'll see like the Chronicle of Georgia. It's called like that way. And it's located on the top of the Tbilisi Reservoir. It's basically reservoir. It's water there. It's one of the beautiful locations there. It's huge. And it's really edge of the city. So not really a lot of people reaching that place in the year when they're wandering in Tbilisi center, downtown. So second one, sorry. We call do you know that Georgia was like a post-Soviet Union country, and it's affected by architectural way. They build like a more brutalistic cement. We call the cement boxes, basically. This is like concrete jungle. In the edge of the city, you can find this concrete jungle. And in downtown, thank God, we still have like Baroque, Art Nouveau, and so amazing European architecture. But some of the brutal buildings can be also beautiful. Brutal beauty, I call this kind of. One of them is called Sky Bridge. Sky Bridge, basically 3 buildings, 60-floor buildings, of course concrete, connected with a bridge. And that bridge was not just for visual. It was nowadays also used. So if you want, when you're getting on the one street and entering this building, the third building, which is connected with the bridge, it's getting on the up to the another road. It's connecting basically. Imagine it's a cable car, but because they use the elevator, there's special elevator when you're gonna pay some money to get on the bridge and walk there. Or otherwise you can walk there, but it's a long way. It's basically zigzag. So it's an easy way to take just elevator, cross all this bridge, all these 3 buildings, and get to this another spot up there. It's also became attraction basically because they saw the residents. They're coming like a tourist, and they put like some amount of the tickets of the elevator. Now, if you want to reach there, for the tourists is like cost something. For the locals, of course, it's free. There's another elevator. There's also interesting, if you're interested like Soviet architecture, and most people who live in the Western, of course, visiting Georgia, one of the country, and where it comes from the Stalin, when you heard that one, you're wondering Soviet architecture, of course. It's one of the thing. And talking about the Stalin, we have one unique still exists. We call it illegal printing room, which was built during the empire of the Russia. I'm talking about beginning of the 20th century, 1903. It was illegal printing room by the in the future communist people. There was printing agitation, propaganda, leaflets and flyers to spread like basically proclamations. So it's a well-known fact. There was participated also the Stalin. Stalin was printing there's something there because it was like one-page newspaper, and they were spreading against of the empire of the Russia. I mean, future communists preparing these flyers for against of the empire of the Russia. There was exit 3 years. There was like a big machine. I don't know how. Only in Georgia survived that machine. It's under the basement. House, basement, and under the basement, you have another room where still the original machine, which is since 1903, standing still there.
Wow. Okay.
This is one of the unique place, and not hard. It's really hard to find because it's really labyrinth to get that place.
All right. So you have the Chronicles,
The Chronicle of the Georgia, the Chronicle of the Georgian. Basically, it's Chronicle of the Kings.
Yeah, sort of a monument type of thing. And then you have this
exactly.
Tbilisi Sky Bridge.
Sky Bridge, exactly.
But this is interesting, this idea of brutal beauty. I mean, do you find seeing the Soviet era buildings, do you see the beauty in that on a day? Is that something you appreciate, or is that something that kind of like, I wish they would rebuild that?
Absolutely. I mean, look at that. I agree with that. And it's actually already running that project to switching with the new modern houses, these ones, which is was built just simply, having like a box visual, and that's it. I mean, are we talking about the tourist point of view? I'm not talking like I'm a local and I wish to stay there and wish for these people, those people. Yeah, but with the tourist point of view, there's a separately tour which is we do usually privately, brutalistic tour. It's basically showing some brutal monuments, basically. By the way, it's really interesting. For example, the Sky Bridge, and there's a couple of buildings which is crazy. Crazy way built. Even for the Soviets, it was crazy why they decide to build this kind of crazy. Some Soviet buildings is. I cannot show you the pictures now, but I can send you that. Or if they're gonna to just Google Georgian Soviet brutalistic architecture, they will find really good examples. I'm not talking about the cement boxes, which is well known in the communist countries, which is a simple, some interesting ones, which is a Sky Bridge.
Skybridge, yeah. And then you had the underground printing house, which, it's kind of fun to try to find those things that are sort of hard to find. Well, when you started this company, I mean, first of all, were you used to kind of presenting in this way? Because I know you studied theater, didn't you? Or you were did you go to school for theater? You were in theater school or something?
Yeah, exactly. University. Yeah, exactly. Movie and the theater.
There's a combination of things going on with what you do, because you have the history, the culture, and then you have like sort of the showmanship, right? Like the sort of, you have to entertain and kind of present it in a way.
Like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's really interesting. I'm just wondering for you, like when you started this, was that part of it exciting to you? And how has it been to not just like sort of understand some of the things around you on like a sort of surface everyday level, but to go deep on some of these things and to really learn, like, how did that change the relationship you have with your home country?
Yes, exactly. And I'm going to back your previous question, which was, what are you learning from the tourists? I learned from watch my country from the different perspective. Something what I can see every day because I live here. Now I can see because my guests and my tourists, they just are mentioning some details, which is I never paid attention to it. It is like one of the best way to learn your country from different perspective. You know what I'm saying? There's sometimes like a funny thing. So look at that. Well-known fact about so I'm going to answer the previous question, how I get to this idea to start that, tourism, even though my older, working experience was slightly different side. But again, like a journalist, should, know everything from everywhere. Basically, as well, the guide should know every profession or every subject more or less well known, because for sure tourists gonna to ask you behind of the historical questions. There was will be questions about, for example, why you have a crazy drivers, or why the have a lot of street dogs here, and where we can find a theaters where the show and so on. So what I'm saying, just basically because my personality, I'm so communicative person. I'm traveling also a lot, and that was a good combination for me. And look at that. First time when I was on a free walking tour, it was in Madrid. So it was 2015, and I heard free walking tour. It's always engaged, that involves you free walking tour. Okay, free, it doesn't exist. I say, no, there's a free walking tour based on the tips. So I say, oh, okay, tips. Then let's try. Let's give it a try. And I tried first time in 2015. I really enjoyed. I paid even more than fixed tours was cost, fixed price tours, because I really enjoyed that. How entertaining, how emotional. The guide was really good. When I came back to the Georgia that year, I just Googled Tbilisi free walking tours. Nothing. Okay, walking tour Tbilisi. Nothing. Free tours Tbilisi. Nothing pop up. I said, I had that time job actually. I don't know why, but something was like a turn in my mind. I said, let's give it a try. And actually next day, I came to the tourist information center. I tell them if anyone gonna to ask them, because at that time I didn't have any website or flights or whatever. If you're gonna to ask someone ask, I will wait here at 12 p.m. every day, or not every day. I mean tomorrow, for example. They'll show up a fourth person. Actually, that fourth person, some point pushed me to continue to do that. I don't know how, but it was a nice beginning because they give really good feedback. I said then they were saying keep continue to doing that. You're doing great.
That's
I said,
nice.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is how I get to that idea after all this, my experience in different, professions.
Yeah. I mean, that's really cool that you were inspired by a walking tour in another city to come back and bring that to your town. And then sometimes to get those words of encouragement from the right person in the right moment can mean so much, just those people saying, hey, keep going with this. It's wow, okay, cool. I'm gonna go further with this, which is that's always a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, well, I just finished that one. So just to have a little conclusion about that one, I want to say Georgian people, I mean generally really communicative and hospitable people. I mean when I'm traveling different countries, I don't know, behind of the attractions, you know what I'm saying, I'm looking at a human experience. It's just to sit with random person even don't understand. For example, recently I was in Palermo, in Sicily. So in Catania and Palermo. Nobody speaking English, for sure. Nobody speaking my language, and we're going to talk about how unique the Georgian language is. And even though we cannot understand each other, for me it's really nice to just to see emotions. You know what I'm saying? To see these three fingers, which is they always use that to speak with someone. I don't know, but yeah, it's kind of really attractive for me. I mean, people creates creates the history, creates the country, creates the vibe, everything created by the people. Architecture, food, drink, everything. So for me, the people and a nature of and culture of the people more important. In Georgia, you can find the warm hospitality, welcoming, when everywhere you can just get to someone, even they don't speak your language, you can figure out to have a really nice emotional conversation, let's just say.
Yeah, that's true. In terms of the local people, us as travelers, let's say we're going and spending a month there. How can we befriend the locals? How can we meet the locals and connect with them? Of course, the more tourists come, the more kind of people are skeptical in some ways of not skeptical of tourists, but just they get used to it and it just becomes sort of another thing. It can be harder to connect with locals. How do we make friends with the locals there?
So, first of all, it's easy. always my option is like take a free walking tours, because there you meet like a solo travelers or even not solo, like couples, and maybe you start like a job. It's a nice beginning of the journey with some random people, but you meet this kind of tours. And not only tours, there's exist the places where all the tourists or locals hang out, and you can meet them and just plan some trip together. So I'm not sure about one what I can say. First of all, Georgia is pretty safe, even if you're like a girl traveling alone in a I don't know. I mean, okay, I will say 99% is safe, because there's always 1% which is nobody can guarantee in this case. Also, like when you go into the regions, Tbilisi less than big cities, because it's capital now, it's more or less everything commercialized. But in regions, still like keep the tradition of the hospitality. If even it's enough to there's like a private houses past like near the gates, and somebody for sure. Oh, are you tourists? In of course the Georgian language. Okay, come on. It's happening a lot. It's not one or two only the examples. It's happening a lot. When they invite some random person, giving them a lot of food, a lot of drink, even though it looks like they're not really rich. So in Georgia, I mentioned like we have like a really crazy it's a crazy climate, and also the really rich soil, which makes like possible to have like a variety of the fruits and the vegetables. So every house, even every family who is like not really rich always with the like I don't know agricultural way, let's just say. And we believe, and Georgians believe, and in the regions you can find the strong traditions. We believe that every guest from the God, and because they're in regions still people is religious. They believe like if they gonna to host and invite some guests and give them like a meal or drink, they will be blessed from the God. So basically they were sent by the God to them. They still believe that. It's not like just a words or something. In Tbilisi, less of course, because it's capital, you know. So easy. Just be nice when somebody call you. Don't afraid. Go to the even cannot communicate it because Georgian language is not easy to learn. Just follow the flow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, if that idea of bringing somebody to your home and feeding them is part of the culture in the sense that they're going to be blessed, and that's like there's like a core belief there, then of course that's going to mean there's going to be more. I mean, I've heard that. I've heard from people that have traveled there that they have there's been a lot of hospitality from locals in terms of getting invited to places, and that's always, I mean, for every traveler, that's always one of the big highlights, right? Like if you get invited over to somebody's house for a cup of coffee or a meal or something, that's the best. You know?
Yeah, it is actually. It's look at that. I mean, I've been in many countries where like even when I'm asking you where is that street located, they say we don't know, and the face is like a really poker face, cold face, you know. Even though like I ask just a street, not ask like money or like help me. Right. So in Georgia, if you ask the direction, this guy will call the taxi or order the taxi. Let's hang out. I mean, let's go together. I'll bring you the direction. They're going together. So this is the apartment. And he said like, okay, thank you. You're safe. Okay, bye-bye. I mean, basically, he not only show you the direction, he take you to this direction. I mean, even though he have like some job or something like that. It's, yeah, I guess it's like a more typical for the South people or Asian people. And this is why I love the Georgia. It's a mix of the Asian flavor to the European flavor. You know what I'm saying? Because we always was located in the between the two parts of the continent, two continents between. And if we got like this influence, because the Silk Road, if you got the hospitality influence, more we got from the Asian side. I mean, more architecture and like a thinking, because European, some people is saying like how it can be the in European Union? We are basically officially candidate of it. You're not on the European land. Yeah, if you look at the map, we are on the Asian side more. It's the border exactly between the Turkey. Actually, it's cutting. But when I ask the people what it means to be in European Union, it's only map location. Location on a map or mentality, thinking way, ideology. So you can live in Japan and be like a European. You know what I'm saying? So this is a really interesting discussion. Will take a lot of time. But I want to say this hospitality, deep hospitality, things we got from the Asia, and really happy because in myself I really love to be taken care by someone when I'm in a different country. It makes me look more safe there, and this is the reason why it's my favorite part of the Europe. South of Spain, Andalusia, where I found really similar to the Georgian hospitality, by the way.
Really?
I don't know.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what are some of the other nuances or parts of the culture that you can help give us an understanding of? There's the hospitality aspect. Yeah, is some of those things, when you're traveling through, it's hard to pick up on some of the cultural elements that you as a local take for granted and just kind of know because you're in it. But you have the unique experience of guiding people and kind of taking a step back and being able to look at these things from different sides. So I'm just wondering, are there other elements of the culture that you wanted to highlight that more people should know about?
I'll tell you the couple of aspects. Do you remember I was talking about the khinkali before, the Georgian dumplings? So never, ever eat the one with the knife and the fork. Never peel the one. So if the next to you sitting the Georgian person will start complaining or changing the face and looking, what are you doing there? Because we believe if you're cutting the khinkali, somewhere one Georgian is dying. So let's keep this is why the population is less now, actually, after when the tourists start to growing. So,
that's one of your tour jokes, isn't it?
Okay, it is. One of it.
It's a good one, though. It's a good one.
Okay, thank you. But I'm partly serious. Never try to cut the khinkali. Even myself, when I see some tourists sitting next to my table and doing this stuff, dumpling, you should to keep the soup inside. Drink that soup, not to just demolish all the khinkali on the plate. Honestly, I have a little aggressive. I want to up and get there. What are you doing? Why are you killing the khinkali? So, and explaining the right way how to eat the khinkali. So, what I want to say, we appreciate the traditions. We appreciate the traditions of the food. We have a culture. For example, we calling supra. It's basically feast. It's a huge tables with a lot of drink, a lot of food. Basically our culture, and so we appreciate it. We have a tradition of the toastmaster, call it tamada, the leader of the table. So basically, what you should know when you communicate with a Georgian person, so more it's be more careful. We're gonna to offer you a lot of food, a lot of drink. Maybe you will be happy with this offer, but you cannot resist because it's too much. And we generally, we hate the wasting of the food or the drink. If somebody giving you and you take it, means you should to finish the one. So, but it's heavy, it's big. Our portions is never small. But you're getting this one and after wasting, it's not really polite for the Georgian. We don't appreciate that wasting of the food or drink. So sitting next to with the Georgians on the table, try to take amount, and when they gonna offering, be more polite, telling this, sorry, enough or something. They gonna to push you still. But at some point you should try to tell them no more, cannot, sorry. Otherwise, yeah. Oh, okay. This is one of the things which is, I guess I can say it's about a meal. Just when the people are wasting the food and wine, no way.
Okay, got it.
And the last one is just I hate to talk about the one, but Georgian drivers are not really angels on the roads, you know what I'm saying? So they're not typical driving style, which is you may see in most West Europe, let's just say. But you can find the similar, for example, in the Sicily. Honestly, I found the more worse or even like a similar drivers than in Georgia. So now I know it's not only Georgia that with these drivers. Of course, it's not like Cambodia or like Vietnam or countries where I survived, thank God. But still, it's not easy to drive here and not easy like a driving style here. Because of it, I usually recommend it not cross the streets, main big streets, from over on the ground. We have it's a post-Soviet Union thing. We have an underground pass in every 5 or 300 meters. So just, try it. And another, it will be good, a point for your, listeners. You're going to see a lot of street dogs. Lot. And most of them in the big cities, they have a tags here near. Doesn't matter which color. So be yellow, white, green, or whatever. It means they're vaccinated and castrated. It's also a human way to reduce the population of the street dogs. And plus, I never heard, but again, 99%, they're really friendly. When they see like people, they see they holding the food and treating them. This is what they can imagine with that. So mostly they friendly, super friendly and nice and cute. This is one of the tips for your listeners.
Okay. Beware of the stray dogs, except don't beware because they're friendly and okay and vaccinated and okay, cool. Before we let you go, I just want to hear if there are any other sort of hidden gem off the beaten path kind of places you would encourage people to check out. Again, knowing that, hey, once you start throwing these things out there, they could get popular one day. Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to highlight in or around Tbilisi?
Absolutely. So Deserted Bazaar. In Georgia, we have two types of bazaar. It's a market and bazaar. Asian bazaar, European market. And it's mixed together. It's really attractive. It's called a Deserted Bazaar. Exactly, Deserted. It's really attractive where you can find always fresh products. And, it's like kind of attractive in the not way of only food, or you can find each ingredient or vegetable or whatever, cheese, for example, which is you can, because they are mostly offering free examples to try. And in this way, you can be like a full, trust me, because it's free example, not a small portion. Usually it's a big portion, so you can be full there for free, basically. Also, really interesting if you're a photographer, for example, street photographer. Oh my God, it's like a Pandora box for photographers. You can find a really interesting portrait and street photography style. So basically, in one space, you can find really interesting food, basically street food because it's a market and bazaar. You can find a really interesting for photographers to find there, taking pictures. So I will say like one of the destinations, which is still not really popular. One of the highlight, it will be the bazaar / market, Deserted. It's called a Deserted Bazaar.
Sounds awesome.
And do you want one more or?
Yeah. Give us one more.
Okay, so of course everybody, it's okay. This is not the hidden one, but I think it should be must-see place for any tourist. It's a flea market. Everybody loves like antiquity, old things, because our flea market, it's something when you're going to, for example, the shop. I don't know, any random shop where you want to buy the t-shirt or something like, what you want to buy and you're going because of it. That particular flea market, don't think. Just not make any aim. Just go there because you can find something what you never can thought about or think about. This is a really interesting and attractive place also. Well, I paid attention because it's not about only to buy things. it's about again attractive, because you never thought you can find that particular thing there, but you will find. And there's a negotiated is pretty okay, acceptable. And yeah, this is one of the another recommendation from me. And sorry, I know I taken a lot of time, but I want to say many people is asking, and I guess many people your listeners have that question. What is a great souvenir to take from the Georgia? Correct? It's always like that question. Doesn't matter which country you're going. For me, I will be like a subjective in this case. Let's just say, for sure, wine, amber wine, this beauty here, okay, and spices, because for me, Georgian cuisine it's good and best because the spicy culture. And if you want to remember taste of any country where you've been to, it's the best to take with you typical local spices with you. And we have a lot. It's not typical, it's not the same than Indian one, but different. But culture we get from India, but we adopt and changing like flavors. So spicy wine for me is like a two best souvenir. Just wine of course you can drink. You can drink it. I know in day, but spices you can keep longer. So it's my just recommendation.
Love it. Great 1-2 punch to finish it up, man. Congratulations on 9 years and still going strong with the walking tours. Of course, we'll link up to everything, TbilisifreeWalkingTours.com. And yeah, I appreciate what you shared today. And yeah, if listeners want to get in touch, is there anything else you want to share? I mean, just the website, is that the best place to go and kind of find the tours if they're coming through town? How do you want to, what do you want to leave people with here?
So, thank you again for inviting me. It was really great to chat with you. I hopefully see you on my tours here. And
I hope so too.
Yeah. And for sure, I want to say just find the website. We have 7 different type of tour. We're basically covering all the topics in our city. And can I just slightly promote our new tour, which is just recently we had? It's a street art tour, because in Georgia, and particularly in Tbilisi, street art is growing really fast, and we try to catch that wave. And now we have a really interesting street art. And the question why we want to this communist buildings, concrete buildings, because the artists use that to making murals on that, and it's gorgeous. So just check it out website, and wherever you like, please welcome.
Yeah. Perfect. We'll link up to that. I love street art, by the way. I love taking pictures of it. I love seeing it. So that's really cool to hear that's a trend. And yeah, I look forward to getting there at some point. It's going to happen. And man, I appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope we can keep in touch.
My pleasure.
All right.
My pleasure.
Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
There you have it. I want to thank Levon for stopping by the show. Of course, TbilisifreeWalkingTours.com. Can't beat the price. It's built right into the URL there, free walking tours. I love doing free walking tours around the city, and I love that we've had a chance this month, as you've heard, to talk to some of the people that have founded these companies, because they, I feel, have an extra level of passion for showing off their culture and some of the wonderful experiences you can have as a traveler, and sort of blending, like I said at the top, that traveler's perspective and that local perspective. And it was a fun one. So I hope that if you're there, you can maybe meet him in person, let him know you heard him on the pod. And I want to thank you for being a part of this community. I should be saying that every episode, and I just, I kind of bring that back. I'm like, well, let me just, before we close out, say a heartfelt thanks for being here. There are so many podcasts now. It's insane. Way more than when I started 12 years ago, but you are here listening to this one, and I truly appreciate that. And if you want to stay in touch beyond the pod and join the community off the pod, just go to zerototravel.com/newsletter. You can sign up over there and find out about all of the, things happening off the pod. I share personal updates and some personal pictures from my whatever adventures I've had during the week, and helpful travel links and travel lifestyle stuff and all that good stuff. So you can sign up over there. And before I let you go, I want to leave you with this idiom I found on theculturetrip.com. Apparently, Georgians say a person woke up on a left leg instead of how we say it in English, which is we woke up on the wrong side of the bed. It's that idea that you're moody without, maybe any reason to be, different things happen throughout the day. Perhaps that person woke up on a left leg, which, I thought it was funny. I always like hearing these because, even where I live in Norway, sometimes these sort of universal human things like waking up on the wrong side of the bed, we all know what it means, but in each country, it can be said in a different way, or sometimes there'll be an animal involved, like I'm hungry as a horse, but in Norway they might say I'm hungry as a sheep or something like that. I mean, they don't say that here, but you get my idea. I love the sort of the little change that countries have for these universal, like sort of human themes, but then, the animal's different or the body part's different or something like that. I don't know. I think it's fun. Anyway, so I thought I'd leave you with that one and send you off on your day. And I hope that if you did wake up on your left leg, that this one boosted your mood. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Peace and love to you and yours. Cheers.
This podcast has been brought to you by ZeroToTravel.com. Ideas and advice to make your travel dreams a reality.